Friday, everybody. Yes, Friday. I'm in love. One of the best days of the week, especially this end of it. It's so good to welcome everybody this evening. I hope some of you are already in your cozy clothes and you're just you're here, you're relaxing. Welcome. My name is Jennifer Ogilvy. Yes, it is a little bit late because this is a late social. It's 8 o'clock my time, which is kind of usually I'm wrapping things up at 8 o'clock. So we're getting going. So our West Coast folks are kind of having a little earlier than or a little later than usual. And then the rest of us are going to try to stay awake. We'll just put toothpicks in our eyes. My name is Jennifer Ogilvy, and I'm coming to you from the Dallas, Texas area. I saw Kelly's here in the Dallas area too. We have rain at this very moment, and I think it's kind of warming up a little bit, but still a little bit chilly. So it's so good to see you. And then joining me tonight, my co-pilot is the fabulous Malika, and she's going to be hanging out in the chat. If you have any questions along the way, she'll do her best to answer them. But this is your time. We have created a lot of space for you tonight to get going and get those pages 19 and 21 done. I'm gonna be playing a lot of music. You're gonna have a lot of time to just dig into that journal, kind of really try on the lens of optimism as we look at these wonderful pages. It's sort of this look back over the past year. And then, of course, those affirmation ornaments are great. Definitely gather the things you need to be creative. Most of you have little setups where, like, I'm at my desk and I have my pencils and my markers and a pair of scissors, grab some magazines or some junk mail, and you can use those to cut out letters and words. But we're going to have a lot of time just to kind of chill out and hang out with each other, and get those creative juices flowing. It's so good for us. Art journaling, a lot of scientific research behind the benefits that we get when we dig in to working on pages through an artful medium, that kind of outlook. So this evening, we are going to start with an opening activity that is a lot of fun. We're going to first work on our year-end scrapbook, and then we're going to dig into some affirmation ornaments. And I actually have a printable to share with you during that. That is kind of an affirmation bank that has been put together by Silk and Sonder. And so I'll encourage you to grab that link and print that off. And that's a great thing. Just fold it in half and tuck it in the back of your journal. And when you just need a little extra affirmation, a little affirming, you'll be able to go to that. Make sure that chat is set to everyone, because that opening activity is going to involve a lot of interaction with each other, which I love. But your cameras are off, your mics are off. This is all about being quiet and settling in. Take some really deep breaths. Take like 5 deep breaths. Leave Monday behind, Tuesday behind, Wednesday, a big old breath for each day. And we're just so glad that you're here, Sonder family. So our first activity tonight is we are going to be creating our very own optimism playlist. Now, if you've already created a list, then we're going to ask you to share in the chat, drop those songs in there. But we want to think about those songs that make us kind of wiggle jiggle in our seats, or the ones that we sing out loud to when we're driving in the car or singing in the shower, because again, science shows that it is so it's uplifting for you. You get these good endorphins dumping into your system when you sing happy songs or you move your body to a happy, upbeat rhythm, right? So we're going to create our own little list. So you can turn to a notes page. You can do this on a scratch piece of paper. You might want to just do it on a scrap piece of paper, and then later you can get on whatever music app you use and create your own song list. But we're going to think about songs that make us feel empowered and ready to take on the world. Maybe there's some songs that like, oh yeah, that song played and I was going through this and this. And when I hear it now, I am reminded of how awesome I am because I made it through. The, just hopeful, optimistic songs. I had shared before, I played Crocodile Rock at a social a long time ago. And that song, I don't know what it is about it. I'm like 8 years old again, 9 years old again, whenever it came out. And maybe I was a little bit older, but it was like fourth grade-ish or something. And I can remember dancing with my little girlfriends in the classroom to that. And all those feelings come right back up when I hear that. So that's a hopeful and optimistic song for me. Things that make you celebrate the beauty of life and human spirit. Maybe an instrumental is the thing that moves you. It just tugs at your heart. Joyful, happy. What inspires you to be your best self? So you can think about songs from an especially good year, maybe songs that remind you of certain people or places or both. My suggestion, I made a birthday playlist last year. Many of you know that I turned 60, and that's kind of what the front of that looks like. The year I was born, Be My Baby was one of the top hits that year. So that's the one I used for 1963. 1964 is Pretty Woman, and it goes on and on and on. And I have this song of all these favorite songs from over the years. Try to choose lots of genres because different rhythms and beats do different things in our brain. And you could even take this a little step further and make a happy album cover, an optimistic album cover that will contain all of these music. You can get artsy and just draw an album cover to depict the songs that will be contained. So there's a little bit of inspiration for you. Some of my songs are on there. Now here's the thing is I don't know about y'all, but when I'm trying to think of songs, if there's another song going, nothing's going to come to my head. I don't know if it has to do with, ADHD. I don't know, but so I'm going to play some music, but you might choose to mute the music during this activity. You'll see when I come back on camera, you can raise the volume again because my brain would not work if music's going and I'm trying to think of other songs. So I want you to dump. Y'all are already throwing great songs in there. So let's keep that flowing in the chat. Let's make the most excellent playlist ever. And then I'll be back to check in with you and we'll get diving into those two pages. I cannot wait to see all these songs. Okay, that was fun. Brenda, I love some bare naked ladies. That, or as Texas, bare naked ladies. Love that group. I was thinking as y'all were putting all these fabulous songs in the list. This is so much fun. Some of these songs are actually in the list tonight. I was reminded that, one of my favorite songs, which is so funny, is Thrift Shop by Macklemore, because I used to Zumba, and one of my best friends and I Zumba together. And so anytime that comes on, I singing at the top of my lungs, all the dirty words. And it just makes me feel so happy because I think of my good friend Rebecca and how we used to Zumba, and we just thought we were, oh my gosh, isn't music amazing? And it can get your rhythm, it can get you elevated, it can lift those moods. It can also settle you with softer kind of yacht rock stuff, right? And so make sure that you always remember that as a go-to on rough days. If you need a boost or a little bit of a calm down. So thank you for taking so much time to drop stuff in the chat. If things keep popping in your head, feel free to share, because I'm sure you all have some great lists, and maybe there will be a couple more songs that you're like, yes, I want that on there. Walking on Sunshine is always one of my go-tos, especially if I don't want to clean house. I put that one on because it makes me start moving. Like that's my floor mopping song, just because, So let's turn now to page 19. That was so much fun. That was just great work, y'all. I'm feeling good just thinking about all those songs. Okay, so tonight is a creative night. I said we were going to give you lots of space to be creative. Just a reminder that when we dig into art journaling of any kind, you do not have to be good at art to enjoy it. We're going to focus on the process, and we're going to just have a whole lot of fun as we kind of consider the end of 2024. It's hard to believe we're here. And we're going to make a little scrapbook page and some ideas that you may choose to embrace for these different sections. You could do like bubble letters and write out words and color those in. Maybe you do a brainstorm of a word cloud, use stickers, stencils, drawings. I actually printed out 2 little mini photos. I'll show you my example in a second. Maybe magazine pictures, or words from magazines that embrace what you're trying to recall for the year. Maybe choosing some favorite quotes. So lots of different ways. There's not a right or wrong way to do this page, but I do have some ideas for you to hopefully get your brain moving and generate your look back over the year. There are our Silk and Sonder themes for the whole year. So perhaps there was a month or two that really spoke to you, and you want to be sure that you remember that and embrace that in some way on this page. You can create categories for each space. I kind of did that. I'll show you my page. Did you have a word of the year? Can that kind of guide how you reflect over the last 12 months by putting it through the lens of your word of the year? There are 7 little spaces here. So maybe you use a space for like 2 months. So January and February gets a space, March and April, May, pair those months up. And then maybe you save the Polaroid for like one big, the best thing of the year reflection. I want you to remember to embrace the highs and the lows, because those lows are probably the areas that, while they were uncomfortable, where you found yourself growing the most. And you're I said we are survivors and thrivers, so we need to look at those lows as some of our highlights, because we did it, we made it through. You can just start off by brain dumping like a whole list, which is kind of what I did yesterday. I just sort of jotted stuff down, and then I decided how I was going to plug it in. And of course, pull your old journals if you have them, your calendars, your photo roll. That's the visual person in me really relates to having those memories in photo form. Here's just a whole list of stuff that may have happened in your year, and it will inspire you to go like, oh yeah, I remember I had a wedding back in April. So your accomplishments, parties, did you go to any parties, big life events, weddings, births, maybe, and even maybe some losses, moments and milestones, aha moments where you realized something big that was kind of life changing. And I'm going to go back through all of these so you can take a closer look at that. But let's look at some examples of Sonder family to maybe help get the inspiration going. So mine is right here on the left. I worked on it yesterday, had so much fun. As you can see, the top middle little box says so much fun, and those were some of just the fun activities that I did this year that brought me a lot of joy. So I kind of did a word cloud. Y'all, we had a total eclipse. I had to include that. I got to be a mystery reader at my grandson's school. One of the pain points for us this year is we have a family camp house in Central Texas, and we had to have 6 trees taken out. They've gotten sick, and it just changed the way the property looks. And we all just love those trees. And so it was a pain point because we lost the trees. It was a pain point because we did not like spending the amount of money we had to spend to have very, very old oak trees cut down. And so that was kind of a significant highlight of our year. It kind of just changed a few things. I ran out of space, so I added some post-it notes. So feel free to do that. Some of the new plants that I grew are there on a pink post-it note that I was successful with. All the food that I grew in my garden is on that little green sheet. I was really proud of that. Another pain point for me was I lost my car, my Murano that I had planned to drive until the wheels fell off, but I drove it until the second transmission went out. And so that was not fun. We were trying to get me to Medicare before we took on our car payment. That's not in the books. But I did get a new car, and so my new baby is on here because that was a really big celebration. I have a third row in the back. I can load those grandkids up. It's amazing. Of course, y'all know if you've been with me, it was my daughter's wedding year in November. There's a picture of that on there. I had so much fun creating this year and really leaning into and embracing my hobbies. So that's that little gold list there of some of the things I tried out. I did some cake decorating, some sewing, some quilting. So I did that, kind of just how I did. I threw my books up there in the top. So again, just kind of thinking back of the year. So that's my page. Now, Shanna from Silk and Sonder said one page wasn't enough. So there are her pages. She actually used those extra 2 pages that are, hold on, let me find it, in the front of our journal, because remember how we had like that last week of November that started in our journal. So she used pages like 28 and 29 and created her scrapbook there so she could have a couple of pages. So I thought that was a great idea if you need more space. And then here's some of our other Sonder family, just writing about things. So this person on the left went to London and created this word cloud of all these amazing sites that she got to see in London. The one on the right is all that has all those symbols that are doodled in there. Love that. So you really a way to get creative in whatever way you see fit. Again, lots of words, celebrating great things, embracing the things that you survived. Let's keep going. And then I love, if you look, there's some real stickers and washi tape in those little sections that are on there. I love the one on the right with the little gal who has returned to yoga. That's like, yay, the biggest highlight of all. So once again, there's not a right way or a wrong way to do this. You can get as creative. I'm going to encourage you to try to get a little creative because it's really good for your brain to do that. So as I said, I'll stop talking. I want to put on a good chunk of music to give you the space to start digging in. And as you reflect, if there are some moments that come up for you, um, you know, drop those in the chat because it's kind of like when we share our roses and our buds and our thorns at weekly setups. We want to like hold space with each other to be able to celebrate, but also to like send virtual hugs as you're doing this reflection. So let's get going and I'll pop in a few minutes and see how you're doing, and then we'll put on some more music. Y'all just again take this evening for yourself. So you don't have to stop working on this. Continue to work on this. I do want to make sure that we touch base with our affirmations, and then we can work on those as well as continue to work on our scrapbook page. I love reading some of the things that you guys did, right? The 39 libraries, that's so cool. Um, I saw a couple of you like, oh, I'm going back through my journals and I had forgotten some of the things that were wins or some of the things that I had celebrated from week to week when you're reflecting on those roses and buds and thorns, or you're looking at those monthly reflections at the front end of your journal. So I think it's so neat to see the power of what it means when you put these things down on paper, and now you're able to sit with all those things from the year. And there were a couple of really itchy things that you shared, and it was that were shared in the chat, things that were tough, and you're like, yeah, but here's the life lessons I took away from that. And that is such a healthy way of embracing those harder things, but being able to take that, have your lesson, and then move forward into tomorrow. So that was really good work. Let's take just a few moments to talk about our affirmation ornaments, which are on page 21. And again, you can continue working on your scrapbook. But I did want to take just a moment. We have the daily affirmations when you open up Sonder Club and you have an affirmation of the day, that's there. Um, why affirmations? Why do you have them? Like, yeah, they're great, right? You read these wonderful quotes, but there is this whole idea of the Pygmalion effect, that self-fulfilling prophecy, that kind of law of attraction. Like, it really helps create your have you it really helps set you up to have a healthy mindset when you embrace affirmations as kind of a compass for your day or your week, or a conversation you're going to have. I put even there, that fake it till you make it. And I'm not saying to ever gloss over feelings. You should always feel your feelings, but the idea of like really having something to turn to. Because your affirmations start off as the belief system, right? And then your beliefs will influence the expectations you have from life. So we want those beliefs to be coming from a healthy mindset, from a positive mindset, however positive that is. Just like you guys wrote in here, like I looked over some stuff that was hard, but I can look backward and see all the good that came from it. I'm stronger, I'm tougher, I'm going to be able to handle anything that's thrown my way because I handled this. After we have those expectations, then we act a certain way in accordance to those expectations. Those expectations affect our behavior. And then whatever we're doing, whatever our behavior is doing, what we manifest, will create the results we have in life. And then those results go right back into feeding what we believe about ourselves. So that's why affirmations are such a critical part of what we do in Silk and Sonder, with our journal work, with writing things down, with affirming, with looking at those. And y'all, I look at those affirmations every day and I put them in my one space block on those weekly spreadsheets, that weekly layout. However, I stopped checking it off in the app because I missed streaks and I would feel bad about missing a streak. So now I just I don't acknowledge it in the app because I don't want to interrupt a streak. So I just don't even have a streak. My streak is that I made it to the page. That's just a little pro tip if messing up a streak bothers you. Breaking up with perfection. So as we're framing out these affirmations, here's some focus areas. You can look definitely at yourself. Is there something you want to change? Somehow, a way you want to be, something you need to make peace with, hopes and dreams, maybe a specific topic. So all of these will be work affirmations or school affirmations or my family affirmations. Maybe there's an important person in your life and you want these affirmations to be all about that person. Behaviors, attitude, responses. I love the idea of duality, more of something and less of something, right? If we take something away, what can be replaced in it that is more positive than what we took away. And then, of course, use this month's theme or a past theme that resonates with you. And I have shared before at setups, I still struggle with scarcity mindset from my upbringing. And so I actually, in my expense tracker every month, do a financial affirmation every day just to remind myself again so that my behaviors are healthy around money and I don't act out of scarcity. I want my behaviors to be rich. And I want to be able to see all the things that I do have rather than go to that scarcity mindset. So I do my daily affirmations from Sonder Club, and then I do an additional one about financial well-being because that's something that I continue to struggle with. So again, trying to create that beautiful mindset that we just talked about. You might want to go look at your intentions that you have for this month. How you doing with those? Are there some affirmations that can be drawn from those intentions that you can put on this page? You can also use stickers, quotes, get some more doodling in. We made that great playlist. Are there some song titles or lyrics from some of those songs that would be great affirmations for these ornaments? And then, of course, I've got some examples from our wonderful Sonder family. Look back over the past year affirmation and choose your favorites. What were some of the ones, that you saw that really resonated with you? Kind of, again, that look back. Perhaps it's guided by a word of the year. Look, this person said their 2024 word was shine. It's kind of there at the bottom of the page. And so these affirmations kind of support that, but also embracing their 2025 word, which is adventure. You could choose a theme. This whole page is dedicated to being a runner. These are runner affirmation ornaments. And so it's everything. Like I could fill my page up with my financial affirmations, that one kind of theme. And then just maybe some beautiful quotes. There's some beautiful quotes in these. And of course, get to know these affirmations, make them yours, decorate, get that creative juice flowing. Here are some examples of some affirmations that you might want to pull from. And then Malika is going to share the link because I know these are tiny, tiny. This is your bank of affirmations from Silk and Sonder. And you can go and grab that link and you should be able to print that up. And again, I'm going to suggest that you print that and just tuck it into your journal and you've got the affirmations whenever you need a little pick me up, a little boost. And affirmations are really great to here's some like beginning prompts for different affirmative lines that you might write. So these could also inspire once you get the I can let go of, and you know what you need to let go of. And so that can inspire your affirmations. And then you don't have to do affirmations. You could repurpose these 13 ornaments into a holiday or year-end countdown. It could be a coloring page. You could just put some of those fun songs from your playlist on here. Maybe it's a self-care challenge for the end of the year, a photo challenge, like maybe a photo a day during this busy time of year, and you kind of track it that way. You use it as a tracker or a tracker for a holiday movie list or a holiday movie tracker or some things you want to do. So you can kind of use it as a tracker if you choose not to do the affirmation. So gave you a bunch of information. I'm going to go back and forth through these slides. We're going to listen to another good chunk of music and kind of let us know, are you leaning one way or another as you're framing out your affirmation page? And I'll be back to check in with you in just a few minutes. Lots of special stuff going on in the chat and with one another. I'm always very grateful for Sonder family and just honored to be that we are together and we're in each other's world, even though it's virtual. Y'all are some of my people, and I see that come through in the chat as you're supporting each other and lifting each other up, and we can keep it real. And there's always space for everything, for the good and the not so good. But that we are living an authentic life, and that's why there is space for everything. So of course, a shout out to that beta. I know lots of you have given the personalized life coach a try, and you're finding that it's very helpful as you are navigating some of these tougher things. There is my playlist for today, and I can drop a link into my Spotify link into the chat if you are on Spotify and would like to grow. My optimism list has just grown, and it's so funny. Yes, somebody had mentioned you can go to your Spotify Wrapped, and it kind of gives you like here's your year. Mine is so weird because it's full of instrumentals from getting to facilitate these times with you. But I'm so glad that we are kicking the weekend off together, and it was a good evening. We did some good work. So keep working on these pages, finish them up, and we'd love to see them. Love to see them in Sonder Club. See you soon. Have a good evening and a great weekend.
Other things just make you swell and curse. When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. And this'll help things turn out for the best. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the light side of life. If life seems jolly rotten, there's something you've forgotten, and that's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. When you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purse your lips and whistle, that's the thing. And always look on the bright side of life. Come on. Always look on the bright side of life. When you're in the World Cup and all your hopes are up and everybody wants your team to win, and they go and let you down and come slinking back to town, it's time for this daft song to begin. So always look